In NRL news, it's sad news, I'm afraid. Gareth Widdop looks like he's done for the season, and that's his NRL career done. He's returning to England to play in Super League after the end of this season. It looks like he's going to face a minimum of 6 months out of the game, out of the sport. He landed heavily on his shoulder, on his right shoulder, dislocated it at the end of near the end of the game, which the Dragons won 25 points to 24. But this was a key moment in the game where the Broncos got back in it, scored a try because of this. He's got into field a kick, he slid in, he's landed very heavily on his shoulder. He obviously lost control of the ball, and the Broncos going to score the try. But it doesn't actually affect the outcome of the game, but it does affect the Dragons going forward with their choice at fullback or in the halves. In this game, he started at fullback, transitioned to the halves. It was a tactical piece of genius by the Dragons. It caught the Broncos off guard. So he's really come into his own as a fullback or a halfback. He's been very, very key in how the Dragons have played over the last few seasons. He's really developed into both those roles. He's also played well for England, playing in those roles as well, at fullback or in the halves. So this injury is not only going to be a problem for the Dragons to figure out who's going to play in their halves and at fullback for the rest of the season, should any other injuries result or suspensions, because that leaves them with another selection headache. It could also be a selection headache for Wayne Bennett when it comes to his England selection and possibly the GB Lions tour at the end of the year. This injury could result in surgery, and it actually could be career-threatening. It's more than just his season's done and his NRL career is done, because he's going to be playing in Super League from next season. This could actually affect his career going forward, because he may need surgery, and this could be a career-threatening injury, which is a massive, massive shame, because I actually like Gareth Widdop. I think he's a very, very good player. He can play at fullback and he can play in the halves. He's a very versatile back in that sense. He played a lot of fullback in the World Cup for England, played very, very well. He's played in the halves for England as well. He's a great playmaker. He's got great vision. He started his career at the Storm in the NRL, and he went on to the Dragons. He's had a very, very, he's developed, and he's a very, very good career in the NRL. He's developed very, very well. This injury comes at a terrible time for both the Dragons and himself. Obviously, I would assume he would want to play for the Lions at the end of this season in October, November time against Tonga, PNG, and New Zealand. I think that would have been one on his to-do list, is to represent the Lions at least in one test. That puts that in jeopardy, but he's done for the season. There's no way with that severity of injury he's going to play again this season. If the Dragons make finals and if he recovers quick enough, he might get a couple of games in finals footy, but it's highly unlikely. It's a great shame, and it's a big blow for the Dragons, because they've had an indifferent start to the season after 3 games. They lost the first 2 games. They played much, much better against the Broncos in a tight game. It was a seesaw game. The Dragons could have won by more, but they also could have thrown it away. It was a seesaw game. It was a test of character. Gareth Widdop was crucial in that victory, in how he played. Had he not dislocated his shoulder, he would have saved a certain try with that play he was attempting. So he puts 100% of effort in. He's a very skillful player. He can bring other players into play. He can play at fullback. He can play in the halves. It's going to be a big loss to the Dragons. It's going to be very interesting to see how they adapt to that. And, does Corey Norman stay in the halves? Does he go to fullback? Do they promote Lomax, who came on for the last 10 minutes in relief and actually played quite well at fullback with Widdop off the field? It's going to pose some questions for the Dragons going forward, but for Gareth Widdop, it's a crying arse shame. He's a very talented player, and this is not how I think he would want his NRL career to end. He could still make it back in time for finals if the Dragons make it that far to finals football. Highly unlikely. It's a bad injury. He's in bad shape, and that's him. And that's another injury to blight his NRL career. He's had a few of them. And it is a shame, because he's an exceptionally talented player, but it also poses headaches for England and Great Britain going forward as well this year as well, when it comes to England's test match in the summer and the Lions this end of season. It'll be autumn for me up here in the Northern Hemisphere, summer, springtime for the Australians in the Southern Hemisphere, but it is a great, great shame, and it's a concern for the Dragons in their depth. But there we go. Gareth Widdop out for at least 6 months with a shoulder injury. Thank you very much for watching. I will try and do my best to review the round 3. I haven't reviewed round 2 of the NRL this year. I didn't see enough games really to give an accurate review, although I have watched, I think, 3 games of round 2, and I've watched already 1 game of round 3. I hope to catch a few more, and it will give us a bit of an idea now where clubs stand. But yeah, there we go for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have some more NRL videos for you guys soon, and more sports videos in general for you guys soon as well. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.